Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. It's another kind of dreary and gloomy day here in Indiana. However, we're over in the bee garden. So we're going to be playing with some flowers, playing with some transplants. So it can't be too bad of a day, right? We got the idea last year or the year before for the bee garden. I don't know if I saw it on YouTube, TikTok, maybe something on Facebook. Who knows? But somebody had the idea of having just a patch of their land, their yard, where they essentially just let the weeds take over, but they also planted some extra wildflowers, flowers in general, just to help the bee population, to help the butterflies, to help the pollinators. And I decided, you know, we have this patch of area by the road that we weren't utilizing. We hate mowing the yard, so just one extra patch that we don't have to take care of during the summer. So we decided to roll with it, and it was kind of a just throwing it together, spur of the moment type thing. We didn't put too much thought into it. So this year we're going to be revamping it a lot, so you'll see some more videos on it. But we did plant some flowers here last year that are perennials, so they do come back, and they've popped back up this year, and we're actually going to be transplanting a new flower over here today. But before I turn it over to Dirk to let him take you through all that, I wanted to give a big shout out to D&T Pro Wash out of Brownstown, Indiana. If you are anywhere in the Jackson County surrounding areas and you need some power washing done, these are your guys. Ben and Percy, they're great guys. We're not sponsored by them in any way. We just like to give a shout out where it's due, and they do great work. They hooked me up with this awesome hoodie. I love a good hoodie. So wanted to give a big thank you to them. And like I said, you won't be disappointed with their work. Give them a call. And from there, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Dirk. I know he's got some different ideas for revamping the bee garden this year, so I will let him tell you about that, and then we'll get to transplanting some flowers.
Well, hey, what's going on, friends? Just out here in the bee garden trying to get all the last year's rubble and what's left over from last year cleaned up, make it look a little neater, get ready to transplant some more wildflowers over here. I've had people laugh at me because I'll call somebody and say, hey, you got a great big patch of wildflowers. Would you mind if I dig them? Dig me some starts out of it. And they're like, yeah, help yourself. Or they'll be like, no, don't. So if you want to dig wildflowers, make sure you get permission from the landowner first, because after all, they are their flowers. So I'm trying to get this area cleaned up, and the neighbor over next to us to the north, he's got a dirt pile over here, and it's hard telling where he hauled that in from, but he dumped it, and at the very top of it says wildflower that I want. And I contacted him and I said, hey, can I dig that up? And he's like, yeah, whatever you want. I was like, awesome. So trying to get me a little area cleaned up right here so I can go over there and dig that flower out of the ground and bring it over here and put it back in the ground. But these last year, I don't know where we got this. This is an old pit hog feeder, what it is. I don't know if either I got it from my dad's house or we picked it up at an auction for a little bit of nothing. But Natalie painted me this awesome sign last year that I love. Don't mind that the weeds were feeding the bees. But these are naked ladies that I dug up last year, and they've all come back. So hopefully them flowers right there will be there to the rest of our lives. So come with me, I'll grab the shovel and we'll go dig this flower from the neighbor. So I drove by this all winter long, and it just so happened a couple weeks ago I noticed that flower is on the very top of this dirt hill where he's dumped it out from his dump truck. Actually he's a little bit of everything. He's a millwright, he does dirt work, does excavation. So it's hard telling where he's dug this up at and hauled it home, but yeah, he was like, yeah, go ahead and dig that out if you want it. See if I can climb up a muddy hill. Huh, everything looks a little different from up here. And if you've dug wildflowers before, you know that that's probably the easiest wildflower I've ever dug out. Most of the time they're intertwined with tree roots and everything else. So we'll knock some of this dirt off. Get it down at the roots. Oh wow, this is awesome. This is started off, and he's dug into this. Look, that's been cut off. That would be a node, so that would be another flower for next year probably. But yeah, look how big around that is. That is huge. But yeah, this will make an excellent flower in the bee garden. And then hopefully I can keep on dividing it and making more flowers out of it. Yeah, right here, that's a new shoot coming up. That's awesome. Okay, let's take this back over to our place and stick it in the bee garden.
We are right by a very, very busy road, so I apologize for any traffic that you hear go by. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can really do about that. So.
Hey guys, right here, I don't know, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be my ditch lilies, also known as tiger lilies. But if you drive down any county road and you see big tall lilies with big orange flowers, I call them ditch lilies, but I think they're out of the tiger lily family. But they're pretty invasive. I mean, they're pretty hardy. Once you see them, you'll start to notice them everywhere. And then over here, this is the same as what's in that pig feeder over there with the sign on. These are called naked ladies. I dug them out of a guy's field a couple miles from here. But I think it's in July when they bloom. But like all this green leaf, it'll die off and then it'll send a shoot. They probably get about that tall. Just one stem, big around your pinky. And I have a beautiful pink flower on the top of it. And that's why they call them naked ladies, because they don't have no leaves or anything like that on them. And I'm super excited for these. Hey guys, this flower here, it means a lot to me because I dug these. This is a white peony or piney, however you want to say it. I'll call them pineys. But it's the Indiana flower. And I dug these from my dad's house. And when I got to talking to Dad about it, after I dug them, I was like, how long have them been there? And they've been there his entire life. That's where he grew up. And so these come off of flowers that were planted at my dad's house before he was born. So these flowers, you can call them 65 plus years old. And it's the start that I brung from where Dad grew up to bring it over here to our house to plant in our bee garden. So these are pretty special to me. But these will be beautiful flowers. And I hope to keep on dividing them so that I can spread them all over the place. And I eventually will get pinks. I had some pinks, but they didn't make it on me. I lost them. And there's yellows. There's all kinds of different variation of color in the pineys. But I really like pineys. They're beautiful.
And what color are those?
These are white. Pretty common. And a lot of people and I just learned this last year, people put pineys up next to their house back in the old days because ants are attracted to pineys. So they thought if they plant them close to the house, it would pull the ants out of your house and make them go to the piney flowers. So that was pretty cool information that I learned there. You know, there's a lot of old ways that were done back for a reason, and you know, nobody really stops and thinks about why they done it that way. But here's another little cool project that I did. I usually say Pinterest is the devil, but I cut a pallet in half and then put little birdhouse roofs on it.
He says Pinterest is the devil because it gives him a lot of ideas that he wants to do, and so he'll get started on them and then never finish them. So Pinterest is great if you can follow through with the project.
Here's another flower that we've gotten established in the RB garden. People call these Easter lilies, but they're not lilies. They're daffodils. But yeah, this is our first year for these to bloom up, and I think they've done great. They'll just keep getting thicker and thicker every year, and I'll probably divide these up and have them in a bunch of different places too. I seen one thing I absolutely loved. Somebody done a cross in these, and I'll have one of them, but not this year. Future project.
This was our attempt last year at one of the bee hotels. I think we just got it from Rural King, just a small little kit. When we set it up, I didn't realize just how much you actually had to do with it at the end of the year. I thought that you just set it up and left it there and that was it. The bees took care of themselves. I didn't realize you needed to take it inside and this, that. I need to do a lot more research this year about how to properly take care of the bees once they have nested and everything in there. So this year, I'd say that we're probably going to build our own. We're going to do some good research and then just build a bigger structure and go from there. But that's why it's just kind of still sitting here all sad. I don't think we had any bees get established in there. Again, we just need to do a lot more research, but it's a fantastic idea and we definitely want to have it incorporated here into the bee garden.
I think they are. Behind. Coming up. Okay, let's go over this way.
Dirk becomes one with nature.
I thought you were saying I had snot rolling off my nose or something.
No, just some weeds in your hair.
Oh. Okay, we're gonna plant our new flower right here. We've raked back the dead fodder and everything from last year. I'm gonna put him right here. Dig you a hole.
I guess the moist ground is working to your advantage today.
Right. Yeah, because I think when I transplanted that stuff last year, it's hard as can be.
It was dry.
Stick. We don't need it. Feels like a rock right there. Got some fishy worms. More root. Stick. Fishy worms are good to have. Natalie, she likes fishy worms a lot. Feeds them to the chickens. So, crumble this up, break it up. Throw the sod out. throw the roots out, throw the rocks out. But, you know, it could always be worse. I mean, I might complain about our ground is nothing but a little bit of dirt and rocks. But it could always be worse, you know. I could be growing a garden on a balcony. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And some of the YouTube stuff I watch on that, there's some really creative people out there that grow a lot of food just on a balcony of an apartment. I think it's very impressive. But yeah, we got all this broke up, crumbled up, loosened up, aerated. I guess aerated would be the proper term. Got me a pretty decent hole there. There, do you know what I'm doing?
It's right behind you.
Yeah, right behind me. I'm half tempted to try to divide it, but or go ahead and divide it now. And
Well,
I did. I just divided it. So we'll plant that. There's two there, so hopefully that'll be enough to go. But we'll put this one right here and just backfill it with dirt. Ow. Walnut, we'll bury that. Alright, we got this. What I said I was going to divide, but really I just broke it. So, and it's got two nodes here bloomed out. Node there, and a node here. So I'm just going to go ahead and plant that with these going up and see what she does. And gardening is fits my algorithm a lot, because I don't know if this will work or not, but all I got into it is about 3 minutes of time. So if it don't come up, I know that didn't work. But I'm not out much. I'll do it again. Just sprinkle your dirt around there. It's got some big old nodes on it, so I think it will work. I think it'll go ahead and continue to grow and become a beautiful flower for us. Stupid grub.
I thought that's what that was. I thought I caught a glimpse of him.
Me and the grubs don't like each other. Pretty mutual, I think. But yeah, these two little sprigs right here, I hope by the end of the summer they look like that one. And then if they do, next year, I will dig it up and chop it in half with my spade and plant both sides of it. But yep, that's all we got for the bee garden today. I'm sure you'll get to see a lot more videos out here, because I'm in the works of working with a beekeeper. I guess you call him a beekeeper, but he's got bees. And I'm hoping to be able to put 2 bee boxes over here this year to pollinate all of our gardens, and then that'll pollinate our lower field that we rented this year. And yeah, hopefully that'll come to work for us. And I guess it's time for me to sign off. And you know what we do when we sign off? Keep on keeping on, my friends.